Greetings and salutations. Welcome to Knife Chats with Tobias.
So a while back, I was talking about toothpicks and peanuts and which one I liked better, and said that I actually preferred them as a pair. I really like them as a pair, at least when I'm collecting them. And well, I showed these just a little while ago. This is the latest ones I picked up from Rough Rider, and this is the new tortoiseshell ones with the 440B stainless steel blades and the new tortoiseshell shield. And I picked those up because, well, they were different enough than the original tortoiseshell that I had. I wasn't planning on picking up these two, but I picked them up simply because I decided to start picking up toothpicks and peanuts that match. Another one I picked up here is the Funky Monkey. These are by Steel Warrior. When I started going online looking at these different knives and stuff, I started realizing that if you really do want to do something like this, like collect both the toothpick and the peanut in a pattern, the tiny toothpick and the peanut, chances are you're going to end up buying a lot more frost knives than Rough Riders, because Rough Rider doesn't seem to be putting out that many peanuts anymore. But in any case, this is not at all what I wanted to talk to you about right now. What I wanted to talk to you about is a comment a viewer made when he saw this video, and he said, maybe you should match trappers with lady leg knives, pair those up. Now, the first thing that visually popped into my head was the standard trapper, and so let's talk about that. This is the standard trapper. This is the knife I thought he was talking about. 4 1/8 inches long with the clip and the spade blade. This is the knife I thought he was talking about. And for the lady's leg knife, the one I assumed he was talking about was the large lady's leg knife. This is that one, which comes in right at, I think, 5 inches long or so, a little over 5 inches long, with a very long clip blade. And then the shoe at the bottom. These are two of my least favorite patterns going. The lady's leg knife and the standard trapper. And it was kind of comical when he said it. And at the time I had mentioned, you know what, I think if I were going to do that, I would probably have to buy more trappers. And well, it turns out I was wrong. I would probably have to buy more ladies' leg knives if we're talking about the large ones, because there's only 2 of these that are in my collection. One of them is in the tortoiseshell, and one of them is in the white smooth bone. I do not have any more of the large ladies' leg knives. And I do not have a standard trapper yet in tortoiseshell. Just have not bothered to pick it up. Not something that appeals to me, so I haven't picked it up. So technically I am right. I would need to buy more trappers in order to get that to match. However, I do have more standard trappers than I do large ladies' leg knives. So in theory, it would be, I would need to buy more ladies' leg knives to fill out a collection. However, I have no intention of buying a whole lot more of standard trappers either. So really, this is it when it comes down to it. But now let's assume for a second that he was not talking about the large ladies' leg knife. Maybe he's talking about the smaller ladies' leg knife. Well, obviously I don't have a standard trapper in tortoiseshell, so that's not going to happen in tortoiseshell. But I do have that in white smooth bone, so I could, in theory, start a collection of these 2 knives. So let's see what happens if I were to switch over to these small ladies' leg knife in standard trappers. How much larger could the collection be if I went with the small ladies' leg knife and a standard trapper? Well, when Rough Rider came out with the new Stonework series, the one in 440B stainless and the pinch bolster at the top, they came out with the little lady's leg knife here. And guess what? they also released a trapper in that. So suddenly, I've managed to double my collection of standard trappers and leg knives, lady leg knives. What's even more, they also released an earlier little leg knife in the Stonework series, and this one had the blade edge stoneworks. And guess what? They also had a trapper that was released earlier that has the stonework blade edge. So now I've gone from not just one trapper and a lady's leg knife, but 3 trappers and little lady leg knives. And guess what? There's still one other lady's leg knife I have. But unfortunately, it's not a little leg knife. It's a big leg knife. This one is 5 inches long. And this one makes a trapper look kind of tiny and puny. So we can't really throw this one in with this collection. So now what do I have to do? I need to find another knife to match this up with, something that falls into the trapper family of some kind. And is there anything out there in the trapper family that might make sense with this knife? Now, the first knife that comes to mind would probably be this one, the Jumbo Trapper. Still not quite as big as that leg knife, but then when you think about it, the original Trapper is also smaller than the leg knife too, so it's not that big of a deal. But maybe something like this could match up with this. Unfortunately, this is in tortoiseshell. This is in the Stonework series, so I don't have anything that matches. And the closest thing to a larger trapper in the Stonework series is the Bow Trapper. Maybe that could go with it, but again, it looks kind of tiny next to this leg knife, so it'd really need to be something bigger. But that's the closest thing in the trapper family to match up with this. Now, all these other leg knives only had a single blade, and the trapper was 2 blades. So maybe if we were to go with a 1-bladed knife to go with that, I think what would look pretty cool with it would be this knife here, the Deer Slayer. Again, not in the Stonework series, so I don't have a match for it. So really, there's no way to match anything to this because there's nothing else out there that is remotely close to it in the trapper family. Where am I going with this now? Well, I don't feel that this matches well with the trapper. I guess some people will like it that way, and maybe that would be a good way to go. But what I think I would rather see matching or going along with the little leg knife and something that is more doable, at least in my opinion, and something that I think I have enough to cover. Oh no, it'll still just be 3, would be right here. The baby sunfish. I think the baby sunfish in this would make a great pairing. Both of them are kind of silly. You got the big fat blades on this knife, the baby sunfish. And you got this blade over here. I think those make a nice pairing. And I do have a few of those that could match. Got the, again, I got it in tortoiseshell. I got it in white smooth bone. And I got it in the Stonework series. So I could, in theory, match those up. That would be kind of cool. But baby sunfish are not that common these days. So another knife that would be a pretty cool knife to consider matching with the little ladies' leg knives would probably be the little cub lockback. That is coming out a lot now. There's a lot of cub lockbacks out there. And there are a lot of the little leg knives, and those would make an interesting combination, I think. The little cub lockback or squirrel hunter, and the little ladies' leg knife or ballet slipper knife, whichever you want to call it. These would be kind of an interesting set to match. I don't know. Does anyone else think about pairing traditional pattern knives together? I know more people actually think of pairing a traditional pattern knife with a modern knife, but for me, these just seem like a natural. I could think of a couple other that work together, but I don't know. This is just one of those ones where I just started meandering and wandering around and, looking at the collection, and it was basically sparked because somebody said, how about matching trappers and large leg knives, or trappers and leg knives? And really, it is an interesting pairing. I just really never thought of it. In any case, it sparked an idea of, what two knives could you actually pair together, when it comes to collecting, two patterns that just kind of look good together, and it'd be like, classic pairings, like Hope and Crosby, or Martin and Lewis, or Abbott and Costello, or whatever, just two knives that just seem to go together. For me, the Peanut and the Tiny Toothpick were just two knives that just seemed to go together. But maybe you've got other knives that you think just seem to go together, If you're a traditional pattern guy out there, are there two knives that you look at and you go, man, those just go together? They look good in the collection. I don't know. It was just something that, it gets in your mind and keeps you up late at night. I guess that's what it comes down to. And any case, with that said, hope you enjoyed the video. I know it's a bit of a ramble, but that's part of the collecting. You never know what is going to drive a collection, and it seems like the longer you're in it, the more you have reasons to collect something that you say is a way to try and keep you focused, to control your spending, but really it's just a new idea to build your collection in some other new way, or some other way to create a sub-collection within the collection. I don't know. In any case, I could ramble on forever with this, and because of that, I will just drop it now and let you go. Thanks for sticking around, and talk to you again soon.
Let me take just a second to thank you once again for dropping by and spending a few minutes here at Knife Chats with Tobias. I really do appreciate it, and I do appreciate any comments that you leave. So please remember to give me that thumbs up, and also don't forget to subscribe and ring that notification bell so you'll know when the next episode is up and running. Thanks again for dropping by. Really do appreciate your time here.